Okay, next on the list we have Diep Sak against Lam Hong. So Diep Sak is currently a Villa fighter. This fight is 80 kg. Lam Hong is a Cambodian fighter from The Ring, again, in The Ring Social Fitness Club in Koh Pik. Yes, 79 kg, sorry, this fight.
So Sak came off of the back of his first fight last time. Unfortunately, lost to a third round decision that they stopped the fight. I think he unfortunately lost the first 2 rounds. Although it was a hell of a fight. He was really giving a good spectacle of himself, or good what am I trying to say? Example of himself as a fighter. But just took a few too many shots in the 3rd round, and as he'd lost the first 2, they had to sort of call it off. I think he does drop his hands a little bit sometimes, but we're working on that. That probably won't make it in. Cut, yeah.
No, I mean, you can see that from his last fight. Let's not beat around the bush. He dropped his hands. He was getting punched in the face too much. That's why the fight got stopped.
Yeah.
So, Sak is he is also a very technical fighter, similar to Yazza in many ways. However, he has some of the, some of the problems that you would have as a new fighter to the game. Especially, he's still young, very young. He's still a teenager, and inside you've got that ego inside of you. He's a big, strong lad, and he's got a lot of skills. And sometimes, when you're that age, experience has not taught you to keep the ego under reins. So he's battling with himself a lot of the time. And with Sak, sometimes we know what he can do, but sometimes we're waiting too long to see it, or he's like, as you say, dropping his hands or playing around a little bit too much.
It's interesting because Lam Hong kind of feels like the absolute opposite to that.
Yes.
It's all about practicality, very pragmatic fighter, very efficient, not showy at all. Quite new to the sport as well. He doesn't try outlandish moves or anything like that. He keeps it quite simple, but he's very effective. So it's quite an interesting matchup style-wise.
Yeah, I personally sparred with Lam Hong, as did you, James, and I was very impressed. He's, again, we don't want to give too much away for about each fighter, especially to the other opponent. We have to keep this fair, but we've given a little bit away about Sak. Plus, his fight is out there on the internet for everyone to see anyway. So, but yes, Lam Hong is I would say he's technical, he's efficient, and
one thing he needs to work on though is his fitness. Definitely, I think if he wants this, he needs to work on his fitness. I mean, we assessed him and I sparred with him, about 2-3 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
3. It could have even been 3 weeks ago now. So as long as he's been sort of working on his fitness, we're another 5 weeks out right now. I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can get his fitness to a place where it needs to be.
Yeah. I think one of Sak's biggest attributes are, in fact, he does have power. When he pieces his combinations together, he has heavy low kicks. He can strike hard. So for Sak, he's got a lot of work to do. But this makes for another interesting fight. I think this fight is totally based on who is smarter on the night.
Who knows?
Who's more efficient with their work. I think that's whoever is more efficient and smart on the night wins that fight.
Yep.
Well, on that, I imagine Lam Hong is going to be more efficient. That's not me predicting the fight or anything like that, but style-wise, he's a very efficient fighter. And he came in for the interview, and again, he's one of those people who's quite new to it. I can't remember exactly, but I think he's been training like less than maybe a year and a half, about a year and a half, something like that. And he was just, his reasons for doing the fight is just, he wants another challenge. He wants to grow as a human being. He'll probably only do one. He just signed up.
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
like cool.
But that's
calm.
also what the Interclub's all about, you know. It's all
Yeah.
about giving people who want that, giving them a platform to do it, right?